Is on. Okay, so can you all hear me well and can see the slide? Can you hear and see the slide, everyone?
For me, I can see and hear clearly, teacher.
Okay, good. Okay, how about the other? Can you see and hear well, right? All right, so for week one, we start at normal, and from week two onward, next week, so we move to the evening. Okay,
Yes, teacher.
Okay, sure.
okay. So in your group, like in your group Telegram, so I got everything. I got the schedule. So you got the schedule for week one, week two, until week seven. What you're supposed to do. So everything. Okay. So now let me change, move to the schedule a little bit. What we supposed to learn in this semester in this course. So everyone could see this. Could see the screen now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the we call schedule outline teaching schedule. So you got 7 week as before. So week one, what you're supposed to learn, you learn about what equity and development, and some reading material here. Reading material like Amartya Sen, definition about development and freedom, comparing political regime, a lot, and a reading reference and some worksheet as well. And week two, you supposed to learn about global inequality. So here's some slide and reading reference. Milanovic, Global Inequality. This scholar is very famous, so he got the book Milanovic 2019, 2016. Famous, he worked for the World Bank. He worked for the World Bank as well. So very famous textbook. And then week three, you're supposed to learn about chapter three, geography of poverty and inequality. So inequality happen uh, depends on the geography as well. Yeah, poverty and inequality. It is related to the geographical area. So, what area do you think people have higher living standard, or yeah, higher living standard, or higher livelihood? So, what area in the where in the city, in the rural, or at the we call at the seaside or near the we call near the port, example, seaport. So which area people got higher living or standard? Example like landlocked country. Is it rich for landlocked country like Laos, example, without sea? Yeah, no sea, no ocean, only river. Afghanistan, example, landlocked country, so surrounded by the other country, but people cannot go for seaside, cannot go for swimming, but so not like the other country. So rich country or not. That's why we refer to or we define the location here. Poverty and inequality related to geography. And week number four, a review for all the three chapters, and you prepare yourself like for the exam for the next week. Like week five, you got exam, so review exam for your exam for week four, and then you learn something further in week four. perspective on global justice. So, what is your idea on global justice? What do you want? What field, what main work do you prefer for global justice? Okay. Hello, everyone here. Uh, Sriki and who else? Srini. How about Srini? Gone. Maybe lost the connection. Okay. And Nick, for week 6, you supposed to learn another chapter on international development. So this one look at international development and then find out some inequality. And week 7, review and student presentation. Submit your assignment and student presentation. Okay. And then you have final exam for week 7. All right. So any question related to your coursework, to your course outline, course syllabus? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? Okay, so I pull it off and show you a slide of overview for uh, overview of the course. What you're supposed to learn about. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Ricky, Saini, can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so this is the overview of your course. So what are you supposed to learn about? So what is equity, development, what is global inequality, what is the link between globalization and inequality, what is connection between geography and inequality, what is global justice, and a lot of debate about global justice. And the last one is international development, right? So cover all the chapter. So equity, what is equity? The definition is from the World Development Report, from the World Bank or World Development Report. The idea about equity. So you look at this one briefly. Yeah, look at this one briefly with different interpretation. So what is the definition of uh, global inequality or what is equity and development? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? So what is equity here? This one. Can you hear me well? Hello, Srini. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I move on then. Okay, you can hear me. Yeah. So the idea about equity, right? So with different definition from many scholar or in the field, like the economists, yeah, for the economists, equity mean what? Link equity to the question of distribution. So they talk about like distribution, like fair distribution. Okay, so we call equity. For lawyer, they refer to what? Correct, strict application of the law. So refer to the apply the law fairly, right? Fairly, which may lead to an outcome judged by to be unfair in a specific circumstances. So the idea like to use strict mean you the law strictly, right? Or apply the law fairly or legally or lawfully. So that's the idea about equity. How about philosophy? Philosopher refer what just and fair society lying at the foundation of Western political philosophy, like from Plato, Republic, and Aristotle, politics onward. So the idea of like equity here, yeah, they gain right or they got from the Western philosopher, like since the period of Aristotle and Plato, like two 200 years before 200 or 300 years before BC. So the idea like yeah before BC. The idea from Plato, like Plato Republic. So the idea of Plato Republic. So you may know, you may have known, like one country look like pyramid, like the structure leader. Okay, look like pyramid. The top is the ruler. We call the intellectual ruler, or we call philosopher king. Okay, on the top, philosophy, philosopher, yeah, philosopher king, mean that intellectual leader. And then the second layer, like second level, the supporter of the leader, we call the military. Okay, military defender or military, the second level. And the lower level we call workers or common people. So that we call the pyramid structure or the leadership leadership structure of one country. So that's the idea about Plato republic. So the republic here refer to that one. I mean one country ruled by like the leader, smart leader, intellectual leader, what we call philosopher king, and then supported by military, and the last one, the lowest class, called workers or common people. And the idea of Aristotle on politics. So, as you know, Aristotle is kind of Plato student, right? Plato student. So Plato is kind of like idealist, idealist, idealism. So it practically like idealism concept, right? But Aristotle kind of realism, okay? So more like science. So that the idea from Plato, from Aristotle. So yeah, seem to be science. Okay, next equity. So what is equity here? So we got the idea from we distinguish the idea from economists, lawyer, and philosophy, and then we get to the common idea, the common concept. What does mean? Okay, what does mean equity? So idea here from like, especially say central to the most of the world great religion, right? Equity, you have some people, people. When smile here, equality, cứ nghĩ smile đi, còn ta some people, you have some people, តម្លាភាពនេះគឺអាចនឹងងាយរកបានតែភាពស្មើគ្នាវាអត់នៅខ្លះគាត់ប្រៀបធៀប Yes, some they compare like how can we get if we want to get equality we need to make like the Khmer Rouge regime everyone need to wear the same dress something but that was like too extreme comparison yeah we call it extreme comparison so it too much extreme comparison so overstated, right? Oversaturate, we call it exaggeration. But this one, the idea like you give the idea of fair, you give the value of fairness, give the value of justly. So that's the idea about equity. Meaning we make people got the same opportunity, provide them with got the same opportunity. So we call like equity. Okay. So example here, so the idea here, equity is central to more of world great religion like Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, and most other faith tradition or most other uh, belief or religion. Okay, another definition. More recently, social choice theory and closely related to the domain of welfare economics have been concerned with the aggregation of preferences into some form of social optimum. Optimum like perfect idea something. So before we move to the uh, like World Bank, right, or World Development Report, what is equity? Individuals should have equal opportunity to pursue a life of their choosing and to be spared, to be free from extreme deprivation in incomes, right? So that's the idea of equity here from World Bank. Have equal opportunity to seek, to look for a life of their choosing. So everyone got a choice. You got by equity when you got a choice. And they are free from deprivation in the outcome. Right? Deprivation means taking something away from you, so we call deprivation. ការដកហូតអីមួយបាទ So the main message of equity is complementary to the pursuit of long-term prosperity. So why we need equity? So want to improve our long-term prosperity, right? To be rich, everyone got welfare, right? Uh, like uh, the same opportunity of receiving good income, good higher living standard, uh, better education, quality of education, get access to health care, get access to clean water, to electricity, or something like that, extra and extra. So we call like equity. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well, right? Hello. Everyone can get the message across well. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, let's move on then. Okay, institution and policy that promote a level playing field where all members of society have similar chances to become socially active politically influential and economically productive, contribute to sustainable growth and development. So this one we call equity. Okay, so this phrase, this sentence is very important, right? Institution and policy that promote a level of playing field where all members of society have similar chances to become socially active. So everyone can participate actively in society, have influential, uh, have influence in politics, and also like very economically productive or they got productive in the economy. Okay, so we call that help to contribute to sustainable development and growth. Right? So that one involved with equity. Okay, next one. Greater equity means more efficient economic functioning, poverty reduction, reduce conflicts, so cut down on conflicts, greater trust, so build trust as well, and better institution with dynamic benefits for investment and growth. Okay, here the idea from World Development Report in the action of political, economic, and social cultural inequality. So that what involve like institution, right? Involve three things together: political inequality, social cultural inequality, and economic inequality. So linked together, economic linked to politics linked to economy, politics linked to culture and society, society and culture linked to economy. So that one we call institution, สถาบัน The next definition, development. What is development, right? This one from Professor Amartya Sen. So very famous scholar. So he worked for World Bank for a long time as well, but now old and got retired. But very famous, very influential, very influential in the idea of development. Yeah. Okay, from Professor Amartya Sen. So what his idea about? So he wrote a book about 10 years later policy and practice. Yeah. So Amartya Sen assumed two primary elements of development. The only acceptable evaluation of human progress is dependent on enhancement of freedom. Right. So his idea like development related to freedom. Yeah. When we call God freedom, we got more development. Not no freedom, no development. But different from our country definition, right? Without peace, no development. So development depends on peace. But from Amartya Sen, development need to improve freedom. Yeah. So when we enhance, we improve freedom, we can improve the value of human progress and we improve the development as well. Many people agree with the first assertion or definition that okay, development here, or we call evaluation of human progress is enhancement of freedom. As long as the definition of freedom is wide enough to include freedom from material or freedom from spiritual want. However, the second assertion is more controversial with mainstream economics. Achievement and development is contingent on the free agency of people. So the second definition here, they talk about like achievement or the success of freedom it depends on or contingent on it depend on the free agency of people. So this one, right, is a controversial with economics, especially public expenditure like education, housing, healthcare, and social welfare. How the government spend on that? Because poor economies cannot afford such expenditure, and because development might have first and only then can society afford to look after the social welfare of their people. Okay, so look at this one, okay, about like involving equity as well as development expenditure on public like education, housing, healthcare, and social welfare. Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me well, right?
Yeah, yeah, child, I can hear.
Okay, good. Then okay, so let's move on then. Uh, Also, next one, Amartya Sen painstakingly distinguish human capability from human capital. Human capital คือ how ធនធានមនុស្ស human capability คือ how សមត្ថភាពមនុស្ស distinguish like differ make a difference painstakingly like surprisingly distinguish human capability from human capital. So what is human capital? He said human capital is important, refer to the agency of people in augmenting production possibility. Augmenting means like increasing the production possibility. Okay, so we call out the human capital or human resource, improve, help people improve their work production, right? The work production. So like they work very productive. So all company, all factory, they need like productive workers. Like when they work, they do a lot of work and they do the work and make the leader or make the company satisfied with their work result, work outcome. So we call productive or production possibility. But he said what? Yet human capability is more important, so more important than like human resource here. We could refer to the substantial freedom of people to lead the life means to have the lives they have reason to value and enhance the real choice they have. So substantial freedom means a lot of freedom, yeah, a lot of freedom of people. So human capability here refer to substantive freedom of people or a lot of freedom of people to have the life, to give the value and enhance the choice. For example, education is crucial beyond its role in production. Its more important role is being that of increasing human capability and therefore choice. So the idea of Amartya Sen, everything is like freedom is choice. Right? If people do not have choice, they do not have freedom. Yeah. So it involves with development as well. So important. So what he mentioned here, human capital or human resource is important. Human capability, we call human ability here, is more important. And the more important one here is education. That's the idea from Amartya side. Yeah. So that's why we need education, need educated people, okay, to improve the standard of living and also help with the development. And the last one here, Science or Maria Science, Science Adam Smith, who link productive ability to lifestyle to education and training and presume the improvability of each. Right. So besides, so immediately follow the Adam Smith idea as well. Right? Who link. So the idea mean Adam Smith, as you know, the scholar of economic in UK, so influenced the idea of Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen the scholar of like American Indian. So like yeah, he worked or work and study in Harvard University, but he from India, so we call American Indian, right? Or Indian America, yeah, Indian America. Amartya Sen, Amiteva Jaya, so you know, like the famous scholar of IO as well, yeah, Amartya Sen, Amiteva Jaya. Okay, so they all like American Indian, yeah, scholar, but their country is India. Okay. Everyone can hear me well now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sure, I can. But I think some students can hear you because of the internet working.
Maybe because I see like I saw some red if red mean got problem. Okay, right. Okay, but it look like blue now. Okay, if green one, so great. Okay, okay. So I don't know, maybe the internet fluctuates. You know, go up and down, up and down. So even from my side, sometimes happen like that. But it full now is good. In that rain here is good. Okay. So let's move on. Okay. So to sum up, yeah, he give value on education, right? Development, involve education. You know, like the slogan or the label in our country that say that no development, there is no development without peace, right? Yeah, because that the definition like for from the government, like thank you for peace. Okay, okay. So yeah, but from the scholar of development, it say without freedom, no development, right? So development need freedom, need choice. If people have no choice, how can they develop? So freedom and development. Okay, so the idea from Milanovic, global income inequality. So Milanovic, Branko Milanovic, he wrote the book a lot and he worked for World Bank as well and very famous, especially related to the idea of inequality. So as you see the picture here, distinguish three kind inequality. One is we call inter uh, inter inequality, mean inequality among country mean income. We call concept one. Number two, we call international inequality, mean inequality among country mean income. Mean income mean middle income อันนี้เอาประชุมเพียประชุมเพียในประชุมโน weighted by country population นั้นมีทลังหรือก็วงเว้งดาวจำนวนวิธีจุด you may look at the picture you get some idea, right? And that international inequality we call concept two. And the last one we call global inequality between world individual อันนี้คือโยมมนุษย์ម្នាក់โยមមកបញ្ចូលគ្នាក្នុងពិភពលោកហ្នឹង and then we call concept three, right? And you look at the picture. Hello everyone, can see the picture? Everyone could see the picture, right? And understand
Yeah,
the
sure, I
idea.
can.
Okay, so what is your understanding here? And which definition the best about inequality ចឹងសួរថាមួយណាជាคล้ายដូចជាយមន័យមួយដែលវាស់វែងបានល្អបំផុតតាក់ទងនឹង inequality ចឹងគឺយកមួយណាទីមួយហៅថា inter country ចឹង inter យើងមើលអានេះយើងមើលយមន័យគេណា three country three representative with meaning income បាទចឹងគឺមានថាគេយកតំណាងនេះតំណាងប្រទេសមួយមកឈរជម្រាបគ្នាដូចយើងកម្ពុជាវៀតណាមហើយថៃយើង3ហ្នឹងយកមកតំណាងយកប្រជាជន ដែលមានប្រាក់ចំណូលមធ្យមមកជម្រាបជូនគ្នាទៅបាទអញ្ចឹងគេឃើញឃើញខណៈខ្ពស់ជាងទៀបជាងយើងទៀបជាងគេអញ្ចឹងទៅវៀតណាមវាខ្ពស់ជាងយើងថៃគេខ្ពស់ដាច់ពីវៀតណាមអីចឹងទៅបាទអាហ្នឹងជាមួយហៅថា inter country inequality next one number 2 international យើងដឹងអន្តរជាតិណាបាទអញ្ចឹងយើងមើលចម្រុះនេះបាទ entire population included but with meaning card ចានេះគឺយកដង់ស្ទេប្រជាជនសរុបមកដង់ស្ទេប្រជាជនសរុបមកបើយើងប្រៀបធៀបទៅមានចម្រុះគ្នាមានថៃមានវៀតណាមមានឡាវមានខ្មែរយើងមានអីចឹងប៉ុន្តែគេយកសំដៅលើគេថា meaning card នេះ meaning card ប្រាក់ចំណូលមធ្យមបាទប្រាក់ចំណូលកណ្ដាលឬមធ្យមរបស់ប្រជាជនទាំងស្រុងនៅប្រទេសមួយស្រុងយកមកអញ្ចឹងមើលទម្រាបគ្នាអញ្ចឹងគឺប្រទេសណាដែលទៀបយើងឧទាហរណ៍យើង4ប្រទេសនៅជុំវិញយើងនឹងកម្ពុជាឡាវវៀតណាមថៃយើងទៀបជាងគេអស់ណាអញ្ចឹងតមកគេអាចឡាវហើយនឹងវៀតណាមហើយថៃគេឡើងតាមនឹងខ្ពស់តាមយើងជាងយើងតិចអញ្ចឹងណា income បាទចុងក្រោយគេនិយមន័យមួយទៀតគឺយកមួយណាដែលវាថាវងវែងទៅវាសំហេតុសំផលជាងតាក់ទង inequality អានេះគេឲ្យឈ្មោះថា global inequality ភាពមិនស្មើគ្នាជាសកលចឹងនេះគេនិយាយពី all individual with their actual income all individual with their actual income ណាបុគ្គលនីមួយគ្រប់បុគ្គលនីមួយទាំងអស់ជាមួយនឹង income ពិតប្រាកដរបស់ពួកគេចឹងមើលចម្រុះមកថាអាចជាប្រជាជនចេញមកពីឡាវចេញមកពីវៀតណាមចេញពីថៃខ្លះក៏អាចនឹងចង់ទៀបជាងគេណាបាទអញ្ចឹងចំណូលអ្នកខ្លះដូចជានៅអាមេរិកឧទាហរណ៍នៅអាមេរិកអាចអ្នកខ្លះចំណូលគាត់ទៀបជាងយើងនៅខ្មែរដែរទៀបជាងខ្មែរយើងអ្នកអូសៀចលនាទ្រព្យអីចឹងបាទអញ្ចឹងគឺទៀបជាងអញ្ចឹងក៏មានដែរអូខេហើយដែលប្រទេសដែលindividual មកថាពលរដ្ឋដែលនៅប្រទេសដែលក្របាទដូចខ្មែរយើងអាចចំណូលខ្ពស់ជាងអ្នកនៅអាមេរិកអីខ្លះដែរនៅសិង្ហបុរីខ្លះដែរទីហោអូខេអញ្ចឹងមើលរូបភាពហ្នឹងយល់ណាបាទមាននេះប្លូនេះមកពីប្រទេសដែលមានប្រាក់ចំណូលគួរសមដែរប៉ុន្តែអាចនឹង individual អាចមានអ្នកក្រណាបាទអញ្ចឹងគេឲ្យឈ្មោះថា global inequality គេវាស់វែងហ្នឹងបាទចឹងសួរ13ហ្នឹងគឺអ្នកនិពន្ធឬក៏ពិភពលោកគេសម្រេចយកមួយណាដែលតាក់ទងការវាស់វែងទៅលើ inequality មួយណាដែលមានប្រសិទ្ធភាពជាងគេ which one the best is to define inequality so what do you think ចឹងយកមួយណាបាទទី1គេយក inter inequality ទី2គេយក international ទី3គេយក global តែយកមួយណាAny idea? Okay. បាទឥឡូវយើងបោកមុខទៅមក Three concept អញ្ចឹងdrawn from Milanovic and Revelin 2004. So concept 1 we call inter-country. Each country have one representative and its mean income. All countries of the world instead of all citizens line up together.And each of them is assigned her mean income អញ្ចឹងគេថាមិនថាគ្រប់ប្រទេសទាំងអស់នៃពិភពលោកហ្នឹងគឺតម្រៀបជួរគ្នា line up ណាគេអត់យកមិនថាគេយកប្រទេសគេអត់យកពលរដ្ឋទេមិនថាគេយកប្រទេស and each of them ហើយប្រទេសមួយ assign to her mean income មិនថាគេ select your income ចំណូលមធ្យមយកមកប្រើ Inequality in this distribution roughly 200 so country of the world is called inter-country inequality អញ្ចឹងវាថាតាក់ទងនឹងភាពមិនស្មើគ្នាក្នុងការរបាយនៃប្រាក់ចំណូលហ្នឹងគឺយ៉ាងហ្នឹងប្រទេសនៅលើពិភពលោកវាមានបែរជាបើសមាជិករបស់ UN មានតែបានប្រទេសសមាជិក UN ចាំហ៎How many member of the UN? Hello, everyone. Remember?
I'm here.
How many members of the UN? miền màn này mà chạm mấy miền màn hello any idea và mà chắc có dự án miền màn này
123មានច្រើន
ឡំហ៎មែន193បាទសមាជិករបស់ UN ណា193 153ណា193 193បាទ3ដូចគ្នាគាត់ថាច្រឡំអូខេអូខេ193ចឹងទាំងអស់សមាជិក UN មាន193បណ្ដាប្រទេសមិនមានប៉ុណ្ណឹងច្រើនបាទជាង200ចឹងតៃវ៉ាន់នេះដែរគឺមានសេដ្ឋកិច្ចយោធាអីមានខ្លួនឯងអស់ចឹងពលរដ្ឋខ្លួនអស់ហើយជាជនតំបន់ដូចជាកាហ្សាតំបន់កាស្មៀរតំបន់អីសោះអាចចឹងខ្លួនឯងអស់ប៉ុន្តែអត់ទាន់មានលក្ខខណ្ឌគ្រប់គ្រាន់ខ្លាយទៅជាប្រទេសមួយគឺអត់ទាន់ទទួលស្គាល់ដូចយើងនៅអាស៊ីក្លេចឹងសមាជិកអាស៊ានមាន10អីចឹងប៉ុន្តែចំនួនប្រទេសមានប្រហែល11មាន East Timor មួយទៀតអត់ទាន់ចូលអាស៊ានអញ្ចឹងវាចំនួនវាអញ្ចឹងចឹងក្នុងនេះគេថា inequality គេយកអញ្ចឹងinter country ហ្នឹងគឺ concept 1ហ្នឹងគឺគេយកបែបហ្នឹងគេថាយកទាំង200ប្រទេសហ្នឹងយកមកប្រើមកគុំគ្នាមកអានេះគេឲ្យយល់ថា inter country inequality គេយកភាពមិនស្មើគ្នានៅក្នុងការរបាយនៃប្រាក់ការបែងចែកនៃប្រាក់ចំណូលរបស់គាត់ហ្នឹងនៅទាំង200ប្រទេសយកមកប្រើមកគុំគ្នាដល់ concept ទី2នេះគេបញ្យល់របៀប concept ហ្នឹងណា international មិនហៅ international គឺ between country inequality concept 2នេះគេបញ្យល់គឺយើងចាំយមន័យពួកកន្លងមានចេញមិនហៅ concept 1មិនហៅ concept 2បាទ each country has his or her country meaning income ចឹងថាប្រទេសមួយ each person បាទចឹងមិនគេយកប្រទេសណាយកមកប្រើ concept 1concept 2គឺយកមនុស្សម្នាក់ៗក៏មាន income របស់គាត់ដែលយើងមានប្រាក់ខែប្រហែលខែគ្រូរៀនមានប្រាក់ខែប្រហែលប៉ូលីសប្រាក់ខែប្រហែលក៏គេរាប់ចឹង The inequality in this distribution of all the world citizen but each person assigned the mean income of his or her country instead of his or her own income បាទចឹងគេថាមិន inequality កន្លែងនេះគឺគេសំដៅយកគេបាទ inequality របស់ពលរដ្ឋទូទាំងពិភពលោកហ្នឹងគឺប៉ុន្តែគេយកថាមនុស្សម្នាក់គឺគេចាប់បាទគេតំណាងណាបាទគេតំណាង assign the mean income គឺតំណាងឲ្យប្រទេសតែបងនិយាយចំទី2នេះតំណាងឲ្យប្រទេសដែរណាបាទយក income របស់មនុស្សម្នាក់មកតំណាងឲ្យជាចំណុចកណ្ដាលមួយនៃ income of ប្រទេសរបស់ខ្លួនឯងហ្មងជាជាងinstead of his or her own income ជាជាងតំណាងឲ្យប្រាក់ចំណូលផ្ទាល់ខ្លួនបាទអាហ្នឹង concept ទី2ចឹងវាវាស់វែងហើយមួយណាវាមានកម្រិតល្អៀងជាងល្អជាងបាទវាស់វែងនោះវាត្រូវជាងចឹងគេសម្រេចយកយមន័យនឹងយកមកប្រើ inequality នឹងតែម្ដងដល់ទី3 concept 3 how global inequality នេះគឺថា simply forget country line up all citizens of the world and calculate the inequality of the distribution of their real income adjust it for purchasing power parity បាទអញ្ចឹងconcept ទី3នេះគឺគេថាយកប្រទេសទាំងអស់យកពលរដ្ឋទាំងអស់ក្នុងពិភពលោកមកផ្ដុំគ្នា line up ណាគេអត់គិតពីប្រទេសទេអានេះលេងគិតពីប្រទេសអញ្ចឹងថាចង់យកប្រជាជនសរុបអស់មកបាទអញ្ចឹងប្រជាជនសរុបឧទាហរណ៍ថា78,000 លានឥឡូវកូវីដផងឥឡូវថយហ្នឹងអត់បានមើលបាទដល់ប្រទេសប្រជាជនកូវីដនេះវាថយមកដល់ 7,000 លានហ្នឹងណាប្រហែលឆ្នាំអស់400អស់ប្រហែលលាន4លានជាងឯងស្លាប់ខ្ញុំអត់បានមើលទូលេខចុងក្រោយ4លានជា5លានមកស្លាប់សារកូវីដអូខេអញ្ចឹងនេះគេអត់ខ្វល់រឿងប្រទេសអត់ខ្វល់រឿងចំនួនប្រទេសជាង200ប្រទេសទេគេគិតតែទៅលើចំនួនប្រជាជនសរុបថាជិត7,000 លានកន្លះអីយ៉ាងទៅឧទាហរណ៍ណាជិត 3,000 រៀន and calculate the inequality of in distribution of their real income ហើយគេកណនាទៅលើភាពមិនស្មើគ្នានៃប្រាក់ចំណូលរបស់ពួកគេបាទអញ្ចឹងខ្លះមានលុយមួយខែរកបានរាប់ម៉ឺនអញ្ចឹងខ្លះមួយខែរកបាន100 200អញ្ចឹងណាបាទអញ្ចឹងកណនាបែបហ្នឹងហើយគេគិតទៅលើការចំណាយ adjusted for PPP PPP purchasing power parity កម្រិតអានេះកម្លាំងនៃការចាយធម្មតាមិនថាចំណូលវាដូចខ្មែរយើងចំណូលអាចនឹងទីហោ1500អញ្ចឹងមិនតែកម្លាំងចំណាយរហូតដល់ 3000 អញ្ចឹងគេបើក EON អញ្ចឹងគេមើលហ្នឹងមានលុយចាយរហូតដល់អាច 3000 ប៉ុន្តែចំណូលដល់ 1800 2000នេះចឹងទេមួយឆ្នាំប៉ុន្តែបើចំណាយគាត់រហូតដល់ 4000អីចឹងទៅ 4000 5000អីចឹងចឹងគេមើលបែបហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងគេហៅថា global inequality is calculated by simply adding international inequality to the within country inequality បាទនេះយើងមើលយមន័យមានរូបភាពវាបានយល់Okay, and here some definition the same about income 1, income 2, about concept 1, concept 2, concept 3. So the first concept, example, unit of observation, compute inequality between each country mean. This is called concept 1 of World Bank, called inter-country inequality. Number 2, take account of different population size by weighting each country mean by its share of world population. We call concept 2 by Milanovic. ចឹងយើងចាំអ្នក author ផងណាបាទ author ដែលឲ្យនិយមន័យនេះគឺ Milanovic បាទពី World Bank ឬក៏ឲ្យឈ្មោះថា international inequality ឬក៏ concept 2 ចឹងថា both of these approach are unsatisfactory since they ignore inequality within country and capture only between country differences ចឹងថា concept ទាំងពីរចឹងអា concept 1 concept 2 គឺអត់ល្អទេណា not satisfactory អត់ជាទីគាប់ចិត្តទេដោយសារអី we ignore inequality within a country វាអត់បានចាប់អារម្មណ៍ផ្ដោតទៅលើភាពមិនស្មើគ្នានៅក្នុងប្រទេសផ្សេងៗគ្នាហ្នឹងហើយយកតែចំណុចbetween country different យកទៅពីចំណុចផ្លាយៗគ្នាពីប្រទេសមកប្រើបាទអញ្ចឹងគឺសរុបមកគឺគេយក global inequality យកមកប្រើជានិយមន័យ inequality គឺសំដៅលើ global ច្រើនជាងវាត្រូវជាងណាបាទអូខេអញ្ចឹងនេះគឺការវាស់វែងចាប់ដើម concept គេអញ្ចឹងយើងមើល inequality នេះកើនឬក៏ចុះបាទកម្រិតនៃគម្លាតបាទវាថា living standard is going high but the inequality is bigger or smaller. Hello everyone, you see here from 1820 to 1920 អញ្ចឹងយើងមើលសួរថាគេមិនដែរបើគេអញ្ចឹងក្រោមវាមានយមន័យគេបាទអញ្ចឹងកាលណាមានការប្រកួតប្រជែងនីតិផ្សារសេរីមានអីកាន់តែច្រើន globalization សកលភាវូបនីយកម្មអីហូរហែហ្នឹងគឺវាធ្វើឲ្យគេមិនដែរគេ the rich and between the rich and the poor get higher right បាទអញ្ចឹងកើនឡើងខ្ពស់ប៉ុន្តែកន្លែងនេះគេឲ្យយមន័យលើអីបាទអញ្ចឹងមើលសញ្ញានេះរូបភាពនេះគឺអីគេនេះ global inequality នេះខ្ពស់ណាស់បាទអញ្ចឹងនេះកើនពីណាមក 0.4 ដល់ 0.8 ពី 1800 ដល់ 1900 មក100 ឆ្នាំគឺកើនពាក់កណ្ដាលប៉ុន្តែបើយើងវាស់វែងតាមនេះហៅ within country inequality រូបមន្តទី2រូបមន្តទី1បាទ concept 1 អញ្ចឹងមានប្រមាណនឹង concept 1 ចុះវិញបាទ 0.3 ដែរបាទ 0.3 អញ្ចឹងវាស់វែងឃើញថា100ឆ្នាំសឹង ជីវភាពសឹងប្រហែលគ្នាកលៀតអត់សូវខ្ពស់ជាងគ្នាហ្មងអញ្ចឹងបើវាស់វែងតាមហ្នឹងហើយមួយទៀតបើវាស់វែងតាម between country inequality អានេះបានន័យថា concept 2ហ្នឹងបាទអញ្ចឹងគឺឡើងកលៀតគ្នាខ្លាំងដែរ 0.05 នេះមក0កន្លះអញ្ចឹងឡើងខ្លាំងបាទអូខេអញ្ចឹងអ្វីដែលគេសម្រេចយកគឺនិយមន័យ global inequality ឡើងបាទតែពាក់កណ្ដាល 50% អញ្ចឹងវាការវិតម្លៃអូខេ here's some idea top 10 international income share across the world in 2016 ចឹងយើងមើលឃើញប្រទេសណាដែលខ្ពស់ជាងគេដែរ1980 to 2016 world inequality moving toward higher inequality frontier ចាំមើល color បាទមើល color share international income មានតែកលៀតបាទកលៀតនៅខាងណាក៏ខ្ពស់ពេលបាទសូមសម្រាប់ឲ្យ2នាទីណា2នាទី Hello everyone, let's come back. Sorry. Hello, can you hear me? Hello everyone, can you hear me speaking? Okay, so let's come back. Okay, let's continue. Okay, here's some graphic, right? So when you look at here, Middle East, okay, on the top. So you see, uh, top 10 income share across the world, 1980 to 2016. Inequality moving towards high inequality from here. So the top one, you see Middle East, okay, Middle East, yeah, and then the red color, okay, China, Europe, like this one between when you look at Europe, only like 40 something here, but the top one is the Middle East. So let's see the explanation. Okay, so here we move to definition of global inequality. Inequality among all people of the world, ignoring where they live. This one they combine is away from all different countries, uh, like PVP exchange rate into a single world distribution of income. Then computing inequality indices for the distribution. As long as the inequality index is additively decomposable, it will be possible to separate this overall measure into a component corresponding to inequality between countries and one that aggregate the inequality within all the different countries. Only recently have households away been available for sufficient number of countries for this approach to be feasible. Since then, this approach has become dominant among researchers interested in global interpersonal inequality for the simple reason it does not ignore inequality within countries. Okay, that's the definition, right? So the best one is choose global inequality. Next step here about the alliance between and benign forces that reduce inequality. So, what factor? The question: what factor reduce inequality? Any idea, everyone? What factor have reduced inequality? Hello, Srenit. What factor reduce inequality? ចឹងមានកត្តាអីខ្លះដែលនាំឲ្យកាត់បន្ថយ inequality? Any idea? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? What factor have reduced inequality? Example: the situation nowadays. What factor? So, situation nowadays, the world facing current situation. What situation? What problem? Hello, everyone. What problem the world is facing nowadays? Và dân phải bọn đi phục lưu chiều bị kia. Any idea, everyone? Chân cái tay khá là nom oi chui chui cắt thoi và world inequality những cái tay khá. Any idea? Right. So nowadays, like COVID-19, right? As you see, COVID-19 have reduced, uh, have cut down inequality as well. This one, like I said, malign and benign forces. So like bad factor and good factor. Okay, like malign mean bad, benign like kind. Okay, so good and bad one. Okay. So as you see here, we call malign and benign force that reduce inequality. So type of society example like society with stagnant mean income. Malign here we call what ideas sin critique even like war, okay, something bad, war, civil conflict. Society with rising mean income, war through destruction, higher taxation, civil conflict, breakdown. Okay. For benign, benign means something good. Right? Okay. So benign for like social pressure through politics, widespread education, aging population, technological change. Okay, that favor lower skilled workers. Example. So that the idea about like good one, like good force or kind forces. Yeah, have reduced inequality, like politics or policy, good policy, education or technology example. Okay, so here idea from Milanovic distinguish CruiseNet cycle and they apply to country that with stagnant income before industrial revolution and as they apply to country with steadily rising mid income or we call a modern era. So CruiseNet here, CruiseNet cycle is from another idea of the scholar. So Kuznets, he distinguished, or Milanovic, he distinguished two kinds of force that drive inequality down, malign force and a benign force. So just a moment, you have seen the table, and here they list down. So malign means bad uh, factor like war, natural disaster or catastrophe, epidemic like COVID-19 nowadays. Okay, we call like global widespread of disease. So we call epidemic. And benign forces mean good one, good forces like accessible education. So everyone get access to education. increased social transfer, and progressive taxation. So when the government can gain tax, so also contribute to cut down the inequality as well. He also emphasized the role of war, then which in some instance may be caused by high domestic inequality, insufficient aggregate demand, and search for new sources for profit that require control of other countries. War can lead to decline inequality, but also decline in mean income. So both, right? Reduce inequality, reduce in mean income. That's the problem. Okay, so you may get the idea already. So move on to the next one. Is there a link between globalization and global inequality? From first channel, debate on openness to be blamed for increasing wage and income different in the US. For example, Milan Wick and Ravelin find that openness is associated with increased inequality in poor countries and lower inequality in rich countries. While Dollar and Cray argue that there is no systematic effect of openness on inequality. The second channel, globalization may affect differently mean income of poor and rich countries. In other words, it might lead to divergence or convergence. Divergence like different, convergence like combined together in one in country income. So there is no unanimity on this point either. Unanimity with no agreement, full agreement, total agreement. Anh nói gì how ấy là chị ai cái chan, some lady chị ai cái chan. Third, the effects of globalization may vary or may differ between popular and small country. Popular mean a big population country. Yet one can imagine that globalization may play out differently in popular country, not popular but populous, being large population country. Populous country with large domestic markets or in small economy like Hong Kong, Singapore, Luxembourg than in middle-sized country. So, any idea regarding this one, everyone? What you're understanding from this slide? Hello, what you understanding? Uh, Srinet, hello, Srinet. Any idea from your understanding from the slide here? Is there a link between globalization and global inequality? តើមានទំនាក់ទំនងគ្នាអត់ពីនឹងសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មនិងកំណើននៃអឺភាពមិនស្មើគ្នានឹងមានទំនាក់ទំនងគ្នាអត់ Anybody got the idea? Hello. Hello everyone. Hello, can you hear me well? Bà tôi lấy anh bà này mà. Everyone can hear me. Hello, straight here. Can you hear me well? Okay. Hello everyone. Can you hear me speaking? Hello. Bà tôi lấy anh bán này mà. Okay. Hello, Sinit. Can you hear me? Tôi lấy anh bán này mà. Hello. Okay, everyone can hear me now. បាទលេខជាងយើងបញ្ចប់ចំណុចនឹងតិចណាបាទចំណុចមេរៀនទី1នឹងតិចទៅហើយចាំសម្រាប់បាទសម្រាប់ទី1 Can you hear me? Hello, Trinit. Can you hear me? បាទអញ្ចឹងយើងបង្ហើយនឹងតិចfirst channel អញ្ចឹងមានថាទី1ណាបាទទី1 channel ហ្នឹងគឺវិធីទី1គេ debate តាក់ទងគេថាglobalization ហើយនិង inequality វាមានតំណែងនេះអត់អញ្ចឹងទី1គេថាដោយសារកត្តាគេថានាំឲ្យដែលនាំឲ្យមាន increasing inequality because of openness open ពេលមានថា open យើងបើកទីផ្សារសេរីខាងពេកហ្នឹងណាអញ្ចឹងហ្នឹងឯនាំឲ្យមានកំណើននៃ inequality ជាពិសេសគឺកើតឡើងនៅណា poor country lower inequality in rich country ជាដើមណាប៉ុន្តែមានការ debate ហើយដុល្លារហើយក្រេងគាត់ថា no systemic effect of the openness on the inequality ហ្នឹងគាត់ជំទាស់ថាការបើកចំហជើងមេឃហ្នឹងវាអត់មានជាឥទ្ធិពលអីទៅដល់ការកើនឡើងនៃ inequality ទេដល់ទី2 second channel second method globalization may affect differently meaning income of poor and rich country ចឹងវាបន្ទោសថា inequality វាកើតឡើងដោយសារតែសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មចឹងហ្នឹងវាឲ្យមនុស្សមានឱកាសអញ្ចឹងមានឱកាសមានបានអីច្រើនអញ្ចឹងអ្នកណារកបានក៏បានអីចឹងវាប៉ះពាល់ប៉ុន្តែវាអាចនាំមានកលៀតនាំមានកលៀតរវាងអ្នកមាននិងអ្នកក្រយ៉ាងដែរទី2ប៉ុន្តែចុងក្រោយវាថា there is no unanimity on this point either ប៉ុន្តែទោះយ៉ាងណាក៏មិនមែនមនុស្សអ្នកទាំងអស់អ្នកសិក្សាទាំងអស់ក្រុមពិសាទាំងអស់គេអត់យល់ស្របតាមនឹងទាំងស្រុងដែរ unanimity នេះគឺឯកច្ឆន្ទណាសម្រាប់ជាឯកច្ឆន្ទអញ្ចឹងគេថាសម្លេងវាអត់ដូចគ្នាអត់លើគេខ្លះគេអត់គេមិនស្របនឹងទស្សនៈដែរទី3 third effect of globalization may vary okay may vary between popular and small country ចឹងណា effect of globalization វាអាចនឹងខុសគ្នារវាងប្រទេសដែលមានប្រជាជនតិចនិងប្រជាជនច្រើនglobalization may play out differently in popular countries like domestic market វាថាសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មវាថាវាអាចនឹងខ្លាំងមានឥទ្ធិពលខ្លាំងទៅលើប្រទេសដែលមានប្រជាជនច្រើនហើយមានសេដ្ឋកិច្ចទីផ្សារក្នុងប្រទេសធំចំណែកឯ small ប្រទេសដែលមានសេដ្ឋកិច្ចទូចបាទជា small economy ដូចជាហុងកុងសិង្ហបុរី Luxembourg ជាប្រទេសអ្នកមានបាទចឹងវាអីគេណា then in middle size country មានឥទ្ធិពលខ្លាំងរសារសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មនោះមានថាកលៀតគ្នាខ្លាំងជាងប្រទេសដែលមានmiddle size country ដែលមានដង់ស្ទេប្រជាជនមធ្យមទៀតបាទហើយចុងក្រោយគេ possibly more important effect of globalization on global inequality will depend on history that is on whether popular country happen to be at a given point in time poor or rich ហើយចំណុចចុងក្រោយវាថា effect of globalization on global inequality may be because of the history ដោយសារអាចជាកត្តាប្រវត្តិសាស្ត្រដោយសារប្រទេសធ្លាប់ក្រោមអាណានិគមគេធ្លាប់អីចឹងបាទមានសង្គ្រាមមានអីចឹងយើងអាចជាកត្តាមួយដែលរងផលប៉ះពាល់ដែលនាំឲ្យមានកលៀតនិងខ្ពស់ដែរអូខេចឹងអត់ខ្វល់ទេ whether popular country poor rich depend on history បាទវាតកតងកត្តាប្រវត្តិសាស្ត្រដែលមានសង្គ្រាមច្រើនឬក៏ធ្លាប់ក្រោមអាណានិគមគេអត់អញ្ចឹងបាទ So to see this point assume for a moment that globalization has positive impact on growth rate of popular and poor country has no effect on within national income distribution បាទចឹងការសន្មតនៃសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មគឺមានចំណុចវិជ្ជមានទៅលើការកំណើនសេដ្ឋកិច្ចចឹងចំណុចល្អរបស់វានាំមានកំណើនសេដ្ឋកិច្ចហើយ no effect មិនអត់មានឥទ្ធិពលទៅលើ within national income distribution ការបែងចែកនៃប្រាក់ចំណូលបាទរវាងប្រទេសនិងប្រទេសនៅក្នុងប្រទេសមួយអានេះជាការសន្និដ្ឋានចុងក្រោយតាចុងក្រោយគឺដោយសារវាតកតងប្រវត្តិសាស្ត្រ Okay and the last one group of people they say no global inequality is relevant for two reasons ចឹងគេថា global inequality វាតកតងirrelevant for two reasons វាតកតងហេតុផលពីរដែលអត់មានតំណែងគ្នា Hello can you hear me Sri Kia and Srinit can you hear me well បើលឺសំឡេងបាទ can hear me ទទួលសំឡេងបានទេ Can you hear me speaking បើលឺសំឡេងបាទលឺខ្ញុំអាចបិទបន្តិចហើយខ្ញុំមកវិញបើអត់លឺបាទទទួលសំឡេងបានទេបាទទទួលបានទេ
ឥឡូវខ្ញុំលឺហើយឥឡូវខ្ញុំលឺហើយ
អូខេបាទអញ្ចឹងយើងបោះហើយចំណុចនេះទៀតបាទវាមេរៀនទី1នេះបាទអញ្ចឹង one group of people say no global inequality is relevant for two reasons អានេះគេសួរថា the globalization matter បាទតើសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មវាមានបញ្ហាអត់ណាអញ្ចឹងគេថា group ទី1ថា no ចឹងអត់មានទេGavati មាន scholar មួយមកពីឈ្មោះថា Gavati បាទយិនឌាហ្នឹងគាត់ថា DT a mere number no addressee to whom this mere number matter because there is no global government there is no global civil society អញ្ចឹង Gavati គាត់ថាសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មគឺគ្មានបញ្ហាទេវាគ្រាន់តែជាតួលេខmere number គ្រាន់តែជាតួលេខអត់មានសំដៅ effect ទៅលើបុគ្គលជាក់លាក់ណាមួយ no addressee បាទហ្នឹងគាត់ idea របស់គាត់ដោយសារតែ no global government អញ្ចឹងអត់មានបញ្ហាទេ globalization no global civil society another reason បាទហេតុផលមួយទៀតand one only change in absolute income matter to the poor and the rich alike ចឹងកត្តាហេតុផលទី2គឺថាមានតែបំរែបំរួលតាក់ទងនឹង income absolute income ហ្នឹងណាចំណូលដាច់ខាតនៅចំណូលទាំងស្រុងមានប្រែប្រួលខ្លាំងគឺវាជា matter វាជាបញ្ហាទៅដល់ទាំងអ្នកមាននិងអ្នកក្រដូចគ្នា another group ក្រុមទី2global inequality may matter អញ្ចឹងគេថា global inequality វាអាចជា matter អាចជាមានបញ្ហាPoch and Reddy យើង Poch scholar ល្បីដែរបាទយើងអាន textbook គាត់ច្រើន Poch define that global poverty and global inequality are a equal issue អញ្ចឹងគាត់តស៊ូមតិថាបញ្ហា global poverty ឬក៏ global inequality នេះវាជាបញ្ហាគេក្រមសីលធម៌វាតកតងក្រមសីលធម៌បានតែវាអាច poverty អីនេះគឺដោយសារមនុស្សពីការយល់ឃើញវាអាចវាតកតង ethical issue អភិសមាចារឬក៏ក្រមសីលធម៌hence the rich world cannot disown all interest in global poverty and inequality to some extent the fate of every individual in the world affects us distributional justice within the nation and in the world as a whole are from a ethical perspective the same thing ចឹងគាត់លើកជា idea ថា the rich world cannot disown មានថាប្រទេសអ្នកមាននៅលើពិភពលោកគឺមិនអាចដកហូតអត្ថប្រយោជន៍ខ្លួនឯងបានទេចេញពីថា global poverty ឬក៏ global inequality ហ្នឹងណាមិនអាចដកហូតហ្នឹងដែលយើងមិនអាចលុបបំបាត់ចេញថា global poverty equality មិនអាចទេ some extent the fate of individual inequality affect us ចឹងតែជោគវាសនារបស់បុគ្គលរាល់បុគ្គលទាំងឡាយនៅក្នុងពិភពលោកគឺមានឥទ្ធិពលប៉ុន្តែរងមានភាពអយុត្តិធម៌ឡើយណាមួយប៉ះពាល់អស់គ្នាចឹងចង់និយាយចឹង distribution of justice within the nation and in the world as a whole ចឹងថាភាពមិនថាយុត្តិធម៌ឬក៏អយុត្តិធម៌ក្នុងប្រទេសណាមួយគឺវាដូចជាជះទៅលើពិភពលោកទាំងមូលដែរចឹងទាំងអស់នោះវាជាកត្តាហៅ ethical វាជាកត្តាមួយជាក្រមសីលធម៌អញ្ចឹងមកយើងឲ្យតម្លៃស្មើឬមិនស្មើកាលណាគេវាស់វែងទៅលើ income ទៅលើដីមានទាបខ្ពស់អីចឹងវាអត់ទេប៉ុន្តែយើងទៅឲ្យតម្លៃទៅលើថាជាទស្សនៈដែលយើងឲ្យតម្លៃទៅលើជាក្រមសីលធម៌ដែលគោរពជាគោរពច្បាប់គោរពភ្លើងស្តុបអីទាំងអស់គ្នាអញ្ចឹងវាជាក្រមសីលធម៌ណាកណ្ដាស់អីចឹងមកយើងកណ្ដាស់ឈីតអីចឹងយើងដូចសម័យកូវីដងាយឆ្លងអញ្ចឹងយើងជាក្រមសីលធម៌មួយគឺយើងហាមឃាត់មិនឈ្នះទេប៉ុន្តែជាក្រមសីលធម៌មួយយកពាក់ម៉ាស់ពាក់អីចឹងហើយលាបអាល់កុលឲ្យមានបំណងទៅចម្លងគេដោយប្រយោលដោយចេតនាអញ្ចឹងអានោះវាជាក្រមសីលធម៌យើង idea របស់ផាច់គឺគាត់សំដៅលើបែបហ្នឹងnext one two more pragmatic reason why global inequality matter អញ្ចឹងមានហេតុផលពីរទៀតដែលហេតុអីបានថាវាបញ្ហាមាន Kushnet បាទតើត Kushnet scholar ដែរបាទ Kushnet formulate it some 50 years ago since the only through contact that recognition and tension are created one could argue that reduction of physical misery associated with low income and consumption reward permit an increase rather than diminish of political tension, political misery of people, tension created by the observation of the much greater wealth of a community may have only increased. Okay. Hello everyone, can you hear me well and see the slide? Work well. Okay, let me check again. ចឹងថា Kushnet ណាមែនតើត Kushnet គេបាទចឹងគេថា UK senior contact តកតង recognition and tension ចឹងគេថាមានបញ្ហាមួយថាដែលអាចនាំមកមានបញ្ហាតកតងថា globalization វាមានបញ្ហាឬក៏ inequality វាមានបញ្ហាដោយសារកត្តាខ្លះនេះការទទួលស្គាល់ tension នឹងការតាមតឹងភាពតាមតឹងកើតឡើងគឺគេឯកភាពនេះគេថាមិនដែរ reduction of physical misery កាត់បន្ថយនៃការឈឺចុកចាប់រងទុក្ខវេទនាខាងរាងកាយបាទជាមួយនឹងប្រទេសជាមួយនឹងកម្រិតហៅ low income ហើយនឹង consumption ការប្រើប្រាស់បាទកម្រិតនៃការប្រើប្រាស់វាអាចpermit increase បង្កើនឡើងជាជាងកាត់បន្ថយនាំមានការកើនឡើងជាជាងកាត់បន្ថយនៃ political tension ភាពតានតឹងខាងនយោបាយដោយសារគេថា political misery or the poor misery មានថាការរងទុក្ខវេទនាខាងនយោបាយរបស់អ្នកក្រ intention created មានការឡើងតាម observation of migrate to well of the other ចង់និយាយថាមនុស្សចំណែនគ្នាចង់និយាយថាយើងមូលហេតុដែលយើងដឹងថាមាននក្រដោយសារគេគ្នាគេគឺយើងយកឃើញគេមាននោះចាយើងអត់ទីជាគេអញ្ចឹងនាំមានគំនិតមួយកើតឡើងណាគំនិតកើតឡើងអត់ស្មើពីគ្នាបាទតាមរយៈការគេឃើញបែបហ្នឹង Okay. What globalization may do is to increase the awareness of other people's income and therefore the perception and knowledge of inequality among both the poor and rich. ចឹងថាសកលភាវូបនីយកម្មវាបង្កើននូវការយល់ដឹងរបស់មនុស្សឲ្យដឹងពីចំណូលគ្នាទៅវិញមកចឹងយើងមើលទូយើងមើលឯកសារយើងដឹងពីចំណូលគេចឹងយើងចំណែនគ្នាកន្លែងហ្នឹងណាចឹងមកកន្លែងការងារខ្លះគេលាក់ប្រាក់ខែគេឲ្យដឹងដូចចំណែនគ្នាដឹងយ៉ាងទៅវានាំឲ្យដឹងអត់ស្មើពីចឹង idea of inequality វាកើតឡើងពីចឹងដោយសារមនុស្សមានការយល់ដឹងគឺដឹងប្រាក់ចំណូលអត់ស្មើគ្នាដោយសារអញ្ចឹងពីចឹងគេលាក់ឲ្យដឹងបាទចឹងកន្លែងនេះ idea គឺបែបហ្នឹងណាបាទ Okay therefore the process of globalization by itself may change the perception of one position even if globalization were to raise everybody real income, it could exaggerate rather than moderate feeling of despondency and deprivation among people. គេថាបើទោះបីជាដំណើរការនៃស្ករព្យួរនីកម្មវាជួយក៏ដោយណាវាជួយតាមពិតវាជួយបង្កើននៅប្រាក់ចំណូលពិតប្រាកដរបស់មនុស្សក៏ដោយប៉ុន្តែមនុស្សប្រហែលជាបលើណាបលើតែតាមមើលឃើញអារម្មណ៍ណាមើលឃើញគេរៀងចំណូលគេខ្ពស់ជាងអីជាងគឺហាយជាងខ្ញុំជាមានអារម្មណ៍មួយថាអត់ស្មើគ្នាកើតឡើងអញ្ចឹងដោយសារការយល់ដឹងណាក៏ពីវិកម្មនៅក្នុងមានការយល់ដឹងយ៉ាងហ្នឹងនៅលំហនៃបច្ចេកវិទ្យាvàលំហនៃទំនិញបាទតាមជាស្កបពីវិកម្មចំណូលនៃភាសាវប្បធម៌ស្អីហ្នឹងនាំមកនោះមានការដឹងច្រើនគឺការប្រៀបធៀបប្រៀបធៀបវាកើតអាគំនិតមួយថាinequality នឹងកើតឡើងអញ្ចឹងគាត់អានេះ idea របស់គេវាយល់ឃើញអញ្ចឹងបាទហើយមួយទៀត geography នេះមេរៀនបន្តតាមពិត geography of poverty and inequality អញ្ចឹងវាអាចកើតឡើងដោយសារតែភូមិសាស្ត្រដែរភាពក្រីក្រនិងភាពមិនស្មើគ្នាតាមភូមិសាស្ត្រដែរណាបាទអញ្ចឹងមេរៀនទី1យើងប៉ុណ្ណឹងសិនណាបាទមេរៀនទី1នេះមេរៀនទី1ឲ្យចាំធ្វើលំហាត់ handout បាទ download ពីក្នុងនេះបាទនៅក្នុង group Telegram នេះឃើញដែរណាបាទឥឡូវខ្ញុំបង្ហាញ group Telegram ឥឡូវរត់ឃើញបាទ group Telegram ឃើញទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទនៅក្នុងនេះខ្ញុំដាក់ equity and development ណាបាទបានឃើញទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចចូលទៅមើលក្នុងហ្នឹងបាទរត់អត់ឃើញបាទនេះនៅក្នុងនេះឃើញដែរបាទ soft ឯកសារនៅក្នុងហ្នឹងបាទមកខ្ញុំ share មួយផងគេ Hello everyone បាទឃើញ group របស់យើងនេះខ្ញុំដាក់ AEU Equity and Development ឃើញបាទនៅក្នុង group ហ្នឹងបងប្អូនគ្នាបានឃើញហ្នឹងបាទ
ឃើញតើ
ឃើញហ៎បាទអូខេយើងសោះទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងឃើញហ៎បាទឃើញឯកសារក្នុងហ្នឹងទាំងអស់ហ្នឹងអូខេឃើញអូខេ good បាទហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងឃើញហ្នឹងល្អហ្នឹងយើងមាន group private មួយរបស់សាលាគាត់បង្កើតឡើងដើម្បីគាត់ងាយស្រួលគ្រប់គ្រងមកគាត់ខាងមហាវិទ្យាល័យខាងយើងមាន group របស់យើងដើម្បីយើងងាយ share ឯកសារដើម្បីកុំឲ្យច្រឡំមួយសាស្ត្រាចារ្យដទៃទៀតគាត់មានឯកសាររបស់គាត់ផ្សេងអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំមាន private group មួយដើម្បីយើង share ឯកសារអាចមានវីដេអូអីបន្ថែមលើនេះទៀតបាទចានេះគឺមេរៀនទី1របស់យើងមាន week 1 មានឯកសារមានអីខ្លះហើយមកខាងលើនេះយើងមាន textbook ឃើញ textbook ឯងបើអាច print ចេញបាននេះបាទចេញមាន textbook ដោយសារគេរៀនមួយវគ្គ2វគ្គអញ្ចឹងមាន textbook នេះយើងអាច print នេះចេញមកសម្រាប់សួររៀនបាទមានមេរៀនមាន slide មានអីក្នុងហ្នឹងហើយនេះ reference book ខាងលើនេះreference book តាក់ទងនេះបាទ scholar ល្បីនេះគឺយើងអាចមើលបានណាយើងទាញមកដាក់ឲ្យអស់ហ្នឹងដែរមាន Thomas Pott មាន Branko Milanovic Global Inequality នេះបាទអញ្ចឹង download ឯកសាររបស់គាត់អានទៅបាទនឹងយើងអានពង្រីក idea បន្ថែមទៀតណាបាទ Thomas Pott បាទឯកសារច្រើនណាស់បាទតាក់ទង equity នឹងបាទ and development អញ្ចឹងអានបដាដើម្បីយើងបាន idea ត្រៀមខ្លួនធ្វើ assignment បាទ World Development Report អញ្ចឹង idea វាចេញពីនេះមកដែរ World Development Report ចេញពីនឹងមកតាក់ទង global inequality equity ហ្នឹងគឺចេញពីនឹងមកបាទហើយបាទយើងមាន scholar ក៏ debate បាទដែលជា Milanovic capitalism global inequality 2016ហ្នឹងឃើញហ្នឹងបាទអញ្ចឹង download ហ្នឹងហើយយើងអាចអានណាបាទមេរៀនយើង concept យើងមេរៀននេះគឺតាក់ទងខាងហ្នឹងបាទហ្នឹងហើយអញ្ចឹងនៅក្នុង Telegram ហ្នឹងអាចឃើញសោះហ្នឹងបាទអូខេបាទខ្ញុំខ្លាចអត់ទាន់ឃើញបាទខ្ញុំពិបាកអូខេបាទអញ្ចឹងនេះមេរៀនយើងទី1សប្តាហ៍ទី1ប៉ុណ្ណឹងណាបាទហើយចាំមានចម្ងល់ឲ្យអាចឆាតនៅក្នុង Telegram បានទៀតបាទព្រោះមានគ្នាយើងខ្លះគាត់បាទអូខេ
សិនជា print textbook ហ្នឹងបាច់ print slide បានអត់ច្រើន
it's up to you មែនបានតែបើប៉ុន្តែនៅក្នុង
ឬមួយក៏
Facebook
ថា
មាន
print
យើងមាន slide ដែរបើមាន slide ក្នុងហ្នឹងពួកយើងមក convert វាទៅជា 44 ណាបាទ44អញ្ចឹងយើងស្រួលបើកឯងបាទ44 slide
អូខេ
បើអត់មាន slide ក៏បាយបាទរៀននៅក្នុង textbook មាន slide ដែរបាទហើយអាច note អាចអីបើរៀនអត់ slide វាបាក់ដែរព្រោះរៀបចំ
ដោយ
slide
សារអីសួរឆ្លើយចឹងទៅបើសិនជានៅក្នុង textbook ហ្នឹងមាន slide វាស្រួលទេព្រោះថាខ្ញុំ print textbook
ហ្នឹង print មកទាំងអស់ហ្មងវាមាន slide មានអីក្នុងហ្នឹងទាំងអស់ហ្មងបាទអញ្ចឹងចា print ទៅបាទ print នៅក្នុងហ្នឹងទៅនៅក្នុង textbook ហ្នឹងមានទាំងអស់ហ្មងវារៀបតម្រំរៀបចំហើយយូរដែរណាបាទអញ្ចឹង print នេះវាក្តោបទាំងអស់ណាបាទ equity and development ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹង print មក print textbook ព្រោះ recommend ឲ្យ print textbook ហ្នឹងព្រោះបើមើលទៅបើនៅខាងក្រៅមាន slide វាហើយខ្ញុំដាក់44ឲ្យទៀតដាក់ខ្ញុំកែវាទៅជា44 slide យើងនិយាយចំណាយតិចទេបាទបើសិនជាអត់ដាក់44អស់ច្រើនណាបាទព្រោះ slide ចឹង convert វាទៅជា44ហើយក្នុងនោះមានបើយើងមានជា textbook នេះសួររៀនមកហើយមានសោះមានអីហើយពេលដែលបង្ហាញ slide តាមមេរៀនតាមអីនេះទៅវាអត់ដើរអ៊ីនធឺណិតសូវដើរអីមិនយើងមានក្នុងហ្នឹងណាបាទអញ្ចឹងវាមាន44អញ្ចឹងយើងមាន slide មានមេរៀនមានលំហាត់មានអីយើង print ជា textbook ងាយរៀនជាងខ្ញុំបង្ហាញ textbook ទៀតបាទនេះបាទចឹង textbook យើងមាន slide ឲ្យខ្ញុំដាក់44នេះកែដាក់44អញ្ចឹងបាទឃើញបាទឃើញ view ទៅឃើញ textbook hello បាទឃើញហើយបាទនេះណាអញ្ចឹងមាន slide មានអីក្នុងហ្នឹងចប់ទាំងអស់ដាក់44បាទដាក់44អញ្ចឹងដើម្បីយើងបាទស្រួលរៀនណាបាទហើយមានជា hat បាទអាច print នឹងចេញទៅស្រួលរៀនមានលំហាត់មានអីក្នុងហ្នឹងទាំងអស់តែយើងរៀន online អត់មានអីសោះហ្មងបាទឥឡូវដល់សារយើងមាន textbook មានអីបញ្ចប់ហើយយើងស្រួលរៀនតាមហ្នឹងបាទអូខេស៊ីនេះតោះណាអញ្ចឹង print មក textbook នេះមានប្រហែល160ទំព័រ159 60ណា
អូខេជើ
អញ្ចឹង print ហ្នឹងមានលំហាត់មាន slide នៅក្រោយមានអីអស់ណាបើយើងអត់មានវាពិបាករៀនព្រោះអ៊ីនធឺណិតដឹងជួនណាដាច់ជួនណាមានជួនណាអត់ហ្នឹង view វាអត់ចេញអញ្ចឹងហើយ slide យើង PowerPoint ក៏មានហើយបើយើងបាន print ហើយនេះក៏ស្រួលរៀនយើងកត់យើង take note អីចឹងណាងាយយល់ចាំមេរៀនជាផងបាទជាងយើងបើកទូរស័ព្ទយូរតាមទូរស័ព្ទឲ្យហ្នឹងវាទូចពេកបាក់មើលអញ្ចឹងណាអូខេ any other question មានចម្ងល់អីទៀតទេបើអញ្ចឹងយើងសម្រាប់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងសិនណាបាទសប្តាហ៍ទី1បើមើលកន្លែង review តាមពិតមេរៀនមានវែងមិនណាខ្ញុំបញ្យល់តាមកន្លែង review វាសង្ខេបបាទកន្លែង overview ឬ review វាសង្ខេបមេរៀនឲ្យតែមេរៀននេះមានច្រើនអញ្ចឹងអាចធ្វើលំហាត់បដើបាទហើយទាញវីដេអូដាក់ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹង download សហើយមួយសំខាន់គឺ print បាទ print ជា textbook ហ្នឹងទៅបាទងាយអានហើយយើងអានហើយផ្សេងជា software អញ្ចឹងណាបាទបាទអញ្ចឹងសម្រាប់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងគេ Thank you so much for joining the video conference today okay
Okay sure thank you
okay bye bye enjoy your lunch yeah. So I turn off now okay bye bye